Oh, there's some under here. Hey y'all. I was actually going to get one live today. No, it's not a snack. No, it's cookies. I said my chips are a snack. Y'all, these are so good. Cheese curls? The urge to get that thing nuts. Because I already had one earlier today. Y'all, yesterday was a day. Yesterday was a day. I had a whole emotional breakdown. And today flew by. We headed back to LA. Hey, Cindy. How are you, honey? I'm hoping that this is going to be more than the next 30 minutes. Yes, child. Emotional breakdown. It was crazy. I was ready to crash out at Home Depot. I vlogged it. I don't know if I'm going to release it. But I did record parts of it, not the whole day. And I caught myself crying. It was a lot. It was a lot of feelings, a lot of big emotions to process. A lot of frustration. And with this most recent trip, I really registered how much or how willing I am to just take everything on, and with the intention of like trying to do right by others and really support others, and I want people to just feel supported. I oftentimes put myself in circumstances or situations to compromise my own like mental and emotional health, and I was very much so reminded of it with this trip, and it really sucks. I'm a loner often, and part of it I feel like is learned because I grew up kind of like an only child. I'm not an only child. Like I have you out of town chilling. Oh, I have two sisters with my dad, and but with my mom, my brother passed away when I was 3 and he was 1. So I grew up with my mom as the only child, but with my dad, I have two sisters and they work together. But I had to develop very early on, kind of like growing up as the only child with my mom, a lot of independence. And then as I like continued to grow, like I went to private school and then I went to a magnet school. Even though I was like living in the hood, my dad wanted me to go to private school so that I can like have a fighting chance at life. So I was like developing differently than everybody around me and everybody in my family. And I think as I got older, I just continued to take on more. Like as I was exposed to more, I could do more, like knew more, I would willingly like take on more. And now that's like manifested in my adult life. Like I'm the one who's just gonna try to get it done, and I don't really register in the moment the toll that it takes of me just being the one to figure it out, being the one to step in and bridge the gap, being the one to put their feelings aside and let somebody else, do do whatever they're doing, no matter how harmful that thing is. And yesterday, I feel like it all came to a head because I like hit a brick wall yesterday where I really physically felt like I could not be considerate of anybody else. Like the last 6 weeks, I have been so considerate of so many people while ignoring feeling slighted, while ignoring feeling not considered, while having to cover so much. Like this move and like getting this house has been honestly like the worst. Not the worst, because like things could always be worse, but it has been a terrible process, and I've basically kind of like been alone in doing it, and it sucks. It sucks so bad. So yeah. And the problem is, in my like intention to show up for others, I like basically consent to not showing up for myself. The last 6 weeks has been diabolical. And like low key, I didn't even finish everything with the house. I was like trying to rush to get a tenant, and like my number one choice went with something else. So then I also like just allow myself to like, all right, like don't even worry about rushing because I don't want to make a decision out of lack and like from a scarcity mindset and get the tenant from hell. So I like took a deep breath, and I know now I'm gonna have to like come back and do some of the stuff that I wanted to do. And it's fine. Like it's fine. Part of this is like I have to take the pressure off myself. I have to like forgive myself. Like once I realize or like notice a mistake or a misstep, forgive myself as quickly as possible, offer myself grace, and then make a decision that's going to be for my better good coming out of whatever the circumstance is. Um, but I'm so excited to get back to LA. Like, it's crazy how excited I am. And my aunt brought me to the airport. Shout out to her. And we were talking. She's like, "Are you coming back for Christmas?" I was like, "I don't want to." And I know how that sounds, but I don't want to. Like, if I do, it's going to be because I might have a tenant that wants to move in January 1st. And I'm doing like last minute things. So I'm going to come back to do that. But like, I don't want to because I want to be alone on Christmas. That's another thing. Like, you gotta know yourself, right? I know this sounds so bad, but I step into roles when needed, right? So like in Baltimore, back with family, I put myself in the circumstances to be. I think I am an outgoing person, but it's like in shifts and in waves. Um, but I like turn myself on. And when I'm here, I don't have as many moments to like turn myself off and recharge. So it's just like constantly being on. And that takes a lot out of me. And I really, 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 really realize that now. And it sounds crazy because I'm like, I want to be alone on Christmas because like I want to do what I want to do. Like I want to pray, I want to hike, I want to like just not have the chaos that comes from like getting together with people and like having to be considerate of others. Like I just want to do what I want to do. I want to eat what I want to eat. I want to sleep. I just don't want to be bothered. And I feel like I need it. Like after this 6 weeks, I need so much alone time. Grace to share close to word of your life. I love that for you. Yeah, I need time. Your holiday should be on your own terms. Yes, and that's what I was trying to explain to my aunt. Because I know it sounds so bad. Like, yeah, I don't want to see y'all. And it's not that I don't want to see y'all. Like, I told her, I would much rather see you on, like, a random time. Like, this trip, out of, like, how diabolical the schedule has been and how long it has been for me, emotionally and mentally, it also was a wonderful trip for me and my grandmother and our relationship to grow. So like I would much rather that. Like I would much rather have random ass moments and random ass trips where I get to deeper connect with a cousin or I get to deeper connect with my aunt or somebody like that versus like come for the holidays and like sit in this place and like watch football that I don't watch and eat food that I don't actually eat and like we all together and around each other, but we're not actually talking to each other. We're not communicating about anything meaningful in each other's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like the last couple of weeks, the amount of time I've got to spend with my grandmother, I've gotten to know her to a deeper level at this stage of her life. And it's been really cool. We were doing random stuff like going to Chick-fil-A and sitting down. Like I would much rather that. I am that type of person. And this trip like reconfirmed it. But then also like when the person composed and like connects with somebody deeply and like spends time and makes it intentional and stays present, and then I have to come back to myself. Like I'm not a person. I'm so grateful for this. I'm not a person that needs people around me all the time. I need my damn self. I need time with myself. I need time to enjoy myself. I need time to be able to process my own thoughts and hear my own thoughts. I need time to sit in silence. Like that is how I would be able to operate in my best self with everybody else and like be fully recharged to like take on the world. And I'm so grateful for that because I know that there's tons of people who see a long time as not that.
Never talking about
yeah, thank you. I feel like everybody talks to be on their own terms. Like I get it. We are off work. People are off work and want to get together. But like, we need to redo traditions. Yeah. Yeah, Asante, you can ask the following question. Sure. What's up?
Exactly.
Log lines can be tough, child. Log lines can be tough. Because you need to give enough to pique people's interest, but not give too much where you basically tell the whole damn show or the whole damn film. If you need somewhere to start, Google logline formulas, and they'll give you things like when A met B and the world changed, C happened. And that was like super drilled down, but like if you Google screenwriting logline formulas, it'll show you like iconic formulas that like some major things fit into. And I would start with, man, this shouldn't be a logline, but I would start with subbing out whoever their main character is. So like Huckleberry Finn goes on a journey that changes that goes on an unexpected journey, forcing him to see life way differently or better or worse than he did before. That's a horrible log line, but in that, like Huckleberry Finn is the subject, he does a thing and then something happens. Those are like the three elements, right? So then you identify what those three elements are in your script and sub them in to the various formulas that you see, and like that'll give you some place to start if you're having a problem starting with your log line. You wrote one, but you're not sure about it yet. You want to share it? What is it? I can give you feedback on it. Are they boarding? I'm about to say, where's my phone? They're boarding, but I'm streaming on it. Post your log line. I'll be right back. Let me check my flight. I'm sitting at another gate. 1 second. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Which made me a little bit more happy.
You have two versions of it? Okay, let me hear it.
Team program.
I cannot wait to get a very full ginger ale on this flight. And I'm going to ask them for the whole thing. don't know if y'all gonna be able to hear me with this mask on, but
It sounds like they
we're
were
gonna try it.
Plus, I have a local contributions
Wow, this is an N95 mask, but it's for painters. I'm like, I know I look crazy, but I didn't have any other masks.
He didn't. He got tell you the story about that. Well, he said he was in there and he got accepted with the
For some reason, YouTube don't let you post the whole thing.
She goes,
Okay. Are you in the Discord? If you're in the Discord, then post it in,
you could do that? She goes, yep.
let me see. I don't even have a place to send right here.
It was incredible, just like thousands of dollars. That time I found it.
Oh, if this is all it is, the second part, it's too long, baby. If you got anything past this first part, this first part is how long or less the whole thing should be. Against her overprotective mother's wishes and her association stars directed to help a bitter homeless being who has a painful connection to her mother and others. Is this a show or a feature? And others learn about her assisting in living with a troubled past. She must decide to protect her future and save her soul. It's really long. That's my first feedback. It's very, very long. This is a screenplay, a movie. Okay, so like to try to shorten this, and again, I'm like, one, I'm rusty. Two, this is just for brainstorming purposes. So hopefully you can hear me. I would cut out a lot of the fluff, right? So a naive high schooler follows God's directive. A naive high schooler follows God's directive to help a bitter man and is forced to decide between protecting her future or saving a soul. Like you have a lot of words, and I feel like that's the meat and potatoes. Like, do we need to know, like, what about him being a bitter homeless man is important for us to know before we actually get into the script? Like, I don't know if we need to know he's bitter and homeless. I think high school girl or high schooler and a man creates the, like, wait a minute, because the inherent danger of men. So you don't necessarily need those qualifiers of like bitter homeless man. The part that I said at the end is like still feels a little bit wordy. I like how you put like protect our future or save a soul. So you have to figure out how to play up the stakes without giving so much away. I said naive instead of overprotective against her overprotective mother's wishes, because those are the things that like you'll be able to flesh out more in the actual script. What you really need to get across is like this is a girl who doesn't know better, maybe thinks she knows better, is trying to do what God told her, and this could be the wrong decision, but she's going to follow God regardless. And that's following God against her mom's wishes, following God against her community's wishes, when everybody else wants to kind of like discard this person. That's what I'm getting from it. But I do think you have entirely too many words to say that. But you have a good start. Like I would say it's good to have more words when you're like just starting out, because then you can really start to drill in and like interrogate which words are necessary to communicate what you're trying to communicate. If that makes sense. Can you hear me? I didn't even check to see if you can hear me at first. Let me know if that makes sense.
Good evening, for my passengers going to Austin, plane number 4490. We do have an on-time departure today. We do have about 30 seats open,
two,
so some of you guys
but
might
not like
have
run-on
a
sentences.
middle seat
Hey,
open
Zinga,
between
how are
you guys. At this moment, if there are any passengers traveling with infants and you do have a stroller or a car seat that needs a destination tag, please come see us here at the customer service podium. As well as anybody traveling with medical equipment, meaning walkers or wheelchairs, please come see us here at the customer service podium as well.
I'm hanging in there. I'm at the airport. I just Googled iconic log line.
Or come see us here for the paper boarding pass. We do want to thank you for choosing Southwest Airlines and have an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the log line. The Asian patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his clandestine empire to a reluctant son. That's for the Godfather. See how it's one sentence? A 17-year-old aristocrat falls in love with a kind but poor artist aboard a luxurious, ill-fated RMS Titanic. That's the Titanic's log line. When a sheltered student hears from God, let me see. So the Mr. and Mrs. Smith logline is when husband and wife assassins discover they are working for rival agencies, they decide whether to put love ahead of business. So if I was to try to like fit your logline into this formula, it's like when a sheltered student hears clear instructions from God, she must decide to abandon her safe future and save a soul. Trying to figure out how to put the juxtaposition in there. Yeah, sure, advice makes sense. Takes an insight. Heard someone say log lines are usually going to two sentences. Yeah, but your two sentences are like, I mean, there are some that are long like this. Like the Napoleon Dynamite one is a listless and alienated teenager decides to help his new friend win class presidency in their small western high school, all whilst dealing with his bizarre family life back at home. But I feel like those are like less common. And not that you want your logline to be common, but if you're trying to like submit this for something, you want it to kind of like get to the point and be punchy. Like every word counts. If you want to include the mother, then it's like maybe choosing God over her mother, a naive high schooler stands
into that.
Stands with a bitter homeless man.
You, Izzy, Skylar.
In the hopes of saving his soul. I don't know if that's helpful, but like this is basically what the process looks like of like really getting to what your log line is. So now that you have a log line, again, look up some other log lines and try to plug in your characters and their action and their why into the formula for other ones to see how it fits and like give you additional ideas. And then all you can do from there is just rewrite, and write a bunch of different ones. Until you land at the one. But I will say, like, just with the first read of yours, it was a lot of words, and not necessarily a lot of words that added a ton. So I hope that helps. I thought I was going to play The Sims, because I haven't played The Sims in months, and I was like, okay, I'll play The Sims on a flight, but I feel like I might go to sleep. But I am going to boot it up just in case. Hey, is my computer dead? Are you kidding me? There's my charger over here. I'm about to move. You say you about to move? Yeah.
Come on, look. Sit right there.
I'm gonna go charge my. Huh? I'm gonna charge my computer anyway. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Good, the whole time. Yes, that helps. Of course. Is it a Christian movie? Do you have any comps? Oh, cool. I have to rewatch The Forge. I need to rearrange my... One of my favorite Christian movies is War Room. That is so good. Reading that. What is this? It might be cold enough for you guys. I'm probably read this. Read that.
Attention couple of passengers, if you're traveling with us to Las Vegas, on flight number 2389, your flight is currently boarding at gate 88, that's Alpha 8. All ticketed and confirmed passengers should make their way quickly.
I went to go see it, but I fell asleep. Not because it was bad, because I was tired. So I need to rewatch it. It started off really good. Remind us of the power of prayer, yes. Yep. To me, War Room is one of the few Christian movies that do a really great job of like just being a very solid film. Like regardless of that it's Christian, some of them can feel like the purpose is determined, which it could very well be. But War Room felt like just a regular movie. Not like a regular movie, because it had a really great message. But it was cinematic. It was very cinematic. But y'all, I'm about to go because we're about to start boarding. This is a quick one. Glad I remembered because I totally was about to forget. I'll see y'all tomorrow.